everyone, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I am doing a slow living night in my life. If you are not familiar, slow living is basically a way of living that encourages being completely present in each moment of your life and proceeding with joy and contentment for your life and the world around you. This is something I want to get better at because I tend to move fast with everything I do. I can be really impatient, I can get distracted and wander off in thought, wanting everything to happen now, putting too much on my plate, and just overall being a workaholic. But this year I promised myself that I would work towards a more minimalistic, slow living and meaningful, intentional life. I feel like I have been doing mostly okay so far, but I can definitely do better. So for today's video, I wanted to slow down and just kind of relax this evening. I've been kind of in a weird place recently in my head, and I just kind of need to reset, rejuvenate, and kind of spend some time with myself. I feel like nights for me are very slow anyways. I do most of my productive work during the day, and then when night comes I usually get a lot of anxiety. I get really, sad, and I feel lonely for some reason. Tonight was one of those nights, and I just wanted to do some things that made myself feel good.
There are melodies that emerge from my heart, songs of love, songs of hurt that make a beautiful art. But the songs I'll never write, I would keep me up at night, 'cause I'm afraid I left something unsaid. Did I make sure I made you feel like nothing else mattered in the world? But nothing that proceeds from these lips could be sufficient, even if I managed to say all I felt. But is it possible to let you know that I don't want another day to go by without you in the songs that I write?
I think the best way to give yourself a slow living night is to set the mood, meaning turn on your wall lights, light your candle, make yourself feel relaxed. Wear what you feel good in, but comfortable in, and pamper yourself. Do a little bit of self-care, like maybe a face mask, painting your nails, and then doing an activity, and do something that doesn't put too much expectations on yourself. Like if you're going to cook a meal like I did tonight, all I did was do a frozen lasagna, pop it in the oven, and wait for it to be cooked. It took like 2 hours, but doing that put less expectations on myself because I didn't have to stand in the kitchen cooking the entire night. I also planned my week, which is something that I enjoy to do. I also read a book, which I haven't been reading in a while, so I've been trying to get back into that recently. And I did the laundry, which can be considered a chore, but when you're practicing slow living, doing anything, even if it's chores, you must practice being intentional and being present and just enjoying the moment as it is, because each moment in and of itself is a beautiful moment. It's not one to take for granted, even if it is chores. And this is what I'm trying to teach myself, to just enjoy the mundane moments. Life is just full of moments that we should cherish, as we should be grateful for. I get to do my laundry. I get to make myself food in my own apartment. I get to read a wonderful, murder mystery book, but still a good book. A little creepy, but I get to do all these things for myself, with myself, and this is beautiful. This is fulfilling in and of itself.
Everything has been used and worn out. Every note, every word, all go a similar route. But if I could summarize that pair of eyes in a sentence, I would never grow tired of the phrase. Did I make sure I made you feel like nothing else mattered in the world? nothing that proceeds from these lips could be sufficient. Even if I managed to say all I felt. So is it possible to let you know that I don't want another day to go by without you in the songs that I write?
Learning how to be more present in the moment and live a more slower, intentional life. It's a really hard process, and I honestly, this year I've taken it seriously, but I'm also learning how the process works for me. The first 2 quarters of the year, in the cooler months, it was easier for me to be more in the moment, and I think it's because in those months I was isolating myself. As the months get warmer, the sun's out longer, I feel happier. I feel ready to do things. I feel ready to go out and adventure and have fun. It's in those moments where it's harder to slow down because you keep wanting to go, go, go. But I think it's a natural thing when it comes to seasons in humans that we change as the seasons change. Unless it's just me, I truly believe that my personality, my way of living literally changes throughout the seasons. And there are certain seasons where I'm more isolated, and there are seasons where I'm so much more outgoing and happier and confident. Maybe this is a flaw of mine, or maybe this is just how life is. I want to learn a great balance, no matter what season. I want to focus on the slower nights during the seasons that I am most ready to get up and get going. And I also want to focus on getting up and get going in my slower months, because a good balance is necessary. Not every night or day has to be slower, but I think it's great to check in with yourself and just be aware that seasons change, you change, and as long as your core values stay the same, you'll always come back to yourself and you'll always get back on track.